$4,400. Clean dial, rugged build. That's the MIT's Tudor Black Bay Monochrome, your low-key ticket into the luxury watch world. But is it true muscle, or just clever marketing in a nice case? Almost $10,000, iconic shape, built-in respect. That's the Rolex Submariner, the classic flex. But how much of it is actually Swiss? And how much just looks the part? $36,000, razor thin and deadly sharp. That's the Royal Oak Extra Thinner, the silent assassin of exclusivity. At that price, it better not just whisper quality, it better yell. Welcome back to Opulent Oasis. Today, we're not just admiring the shine, we're breaking down what you're actually paying for when that price tag hits harder than your rent. The truth behind the shine. Here's the kicker. 95% of the world's watches are born in one buzzing, bling-churning city, Shenzhen. Not in some snow-dusted Swiss village with a guy named Klaus polishing bezels by candlelight. Nah, we're talking high-volume factories, neon lights, and watch parts flying faster than a Black Friday checkout. We went snooping. And what we found wasn't just shady, it was practically wearing sunglasses indoors. Turns out, while you're out here spending your rent money on a Rolex, parts of that beauty may have taken a detour through China first. And insiders? They're talking. Some even got canned for it. Corporate said loyalty, they said spill the tea. So let's ask the question, are these $20,000 watches handcrafted horological poetry or just really expensive assembly line souvenirs? Because TikTok's now basically a luxury watch crime scene, and the footage coming out of Shenzhen, let's just say it's got plot twists. Oh, and whoever came up with small dials make your wrist look slimmer clearly skipped gym day and fashion school. Newsflash, your watch size doesn't determine your aura. Set a budget and grab what looks good. The Datejust, still a clean win if you like subtle flexes and still having money for food. Before we proceed, why not join the Opulent Oasis crew? Subscribe for our newest and best content. Now, let's get back to what we were discussing. So what happens when the people building your Swiss luxury finally start spilling? Simple. Chaos. Factory workers, leakers, and anonymous whistleblowers are tearing down the myth. And Rolex, they hit the panic price drop button like it was a fire drill. Whistleblowers and price drops. Swiss neutrality. Not today. Industry insiders are spilling tea hotter than a busted mainspring, exposing loopholes wide enough to park a G-Wagon. Suddenly, Swiss-made feels more like globally built, locally blessed. And yes, Rolex dropped prices. Coincidence? Only if you think Invictas deserve museum space. This wasn't a sale, it was a silent sweep-up before the noise got louder. We've all been sold the story. Old men in the Alps, tweezers in hand, crafting masterpieces. Reality check? It's spreadsheets, legal loopholes, and marketing smoke. The 36mm DJ Just 16220 with an engine-turned bezel runs about $6,500. Cool, clean, and quietly confident, like a vintage track jacket with fresh soles. Just enough texture to keep things interesting. The 36mm date, just 16014 with that sunburst blue dial and fluted bezel lands around $6,200. Subtle flex. The kind of watch that says, I don't shout, I suggest. The real capital of watchmaking. Let's stop pretending. It's not Switzerland, it's Shenzhen. That's the real watch capital of the world. Over 95% of watches are made in China, and Shenzhen's doing it with style. Sapphire crystals, ceramic bezels, solid steel, all the luxury trimmings. This isn't back-alley bootleg stuff. It's factory-fresh flex pieces that could pass as Swiss, and sometimes do. Some of these factories, quietly building parts for Omega, Tag, Tissot, maybe even Rolex. Same gear, same hands, just minus the overpriced middleman and the mountain logo. And yeah, they're not hiding. They're online, taking orders, and basically saying, why pay retail when you can go straight to the source? So here's the plot twist. If your luxury watch is mostly born in China, why is it acting like it's summers in Geneva? The illusion of Swiss-made. Let's break it down. Swiss-made doesn't mean built in Switzerland. It means 60% of the value comes from there. Not parts, not labor, just clever accounting. A watch can be made top to bottom in China, shipped to Geneva for a quick movement install and polish, and boom, it's officially Swiss. Global outsourcing dressed up as heritage. That $6,000 piece on your wrist, it might have spent more time in Shenzhen than in the Alps, and people are catching on. Reddit murmured, TikTok blew it up, and now ex-employees are dropping receipts like it's their side hustle. One guy restoring vintage pieces realized the parts weren't local. He asked questions, got fired, and went full whistleblower with photos, everything pointing back to Asia. And the movements, sometimes Swiss, sometimes $5 quartz inserts tossed in like cheap seasoning. Bon appétit. You pay $4,400 for a Mitz Tudor Black Bay monochrome, nearly $10,000 for a Rolex Submariner, and $36,000 for the Royal Oak Extra Thinner. Luxury? Sure. Logic? Not really. So why isn't this on the front page? Easy. Money. These brands bankroll the same media outlets you'd expect to blow the whistle. No one's biting the wrist that gifts them. Which is why TikTok sleuths and factory workers are the ones pulling the mask off. And Rolex, yeah, they flinched. Quiet price drop, no press release, just a little shuffle behind the curtain. The quiet discount strategy. No press release, no fanfare, just a quiet price drop that made watch forums go, did Rolex just blink? Some models, Submariner, GMT Master 2, a few Oyster Perpetuals, got trimmed by up to 20% in select markets. The kind of hush-hush markdown that smells less like generosity and more like damage control with good PR. Oh, and this happened right after a viral video showed Rolex-looking parts getting boxed up by the truckload in Guangdong. Coincidence? Yeah, and our watch is made of dreams. Rolex built its name on good luck finding one, not now 20% off. So when prices dip mid-scandal, that's not retail strategy, that's panic in a tuxedo. Meanwhile, buyers stopped waiting in line. They went rogue. Telegram chats, factory contacts, secret group buys. It's the same build, just without the Rolex blessing or price tag, and no one's calling them fakes anymore. They're factory pieces, OEM specials, parallel releases, fancy ways to say, we made this, just not for you. Word is, factories finish up watches with leftover brand parts and sell them quietly. Not bootlegs, not knockoffs, same cake, no frosting logo. And sure, luxury brands say their margins are 10 to 20%. Cute. But even if they're not swimming in Bezos money, they're still living like Bond villains with better tailoring. And Rolex? They're a non-profit. Yep. No financial reports, no shareholders, just vibes and velvet boxes. Technically a charity. Emotionally, a flex machine. A watch retailing for $6,000 might cost $1,200 to make. The rest? Dealer margins, brand taxes, and the fee for making you feel chosen. Christopher Ward marks up 3 times. Omega hits around 4 times. Rolex, most say 5 times or more, because nothing says elite like an invisible extra $3,000. That $60 Rolex might survive an Instagram story, but not a side-eye in daylight. Loud tick, weak loom, mystery metal, and water resistance that taps out at a light mist. It's giving, got it on vacation next to a guy selling sunglasses. On paper, absolutely. You're paying steakhouse prices for something made in the same kitchen as a food truck. But if you know the markup and still want it, that's power, because you're not buying a watch. You're buying the moment someone notices without you saying a word. You're buying the nod. So yeah, it's overpriced. But if it makes you feel like a walking Wall Street opening bell, that's the kind of ROI you don't find on a spreadsheet. All right, we've said enough. It's your turn now because this Rolex rabbit hole, yeah, it just messed with the whole luxury ecosystem. So what's the verdict? Is Rolex suddenly trying to be for the people, or did they just get caught slipping on their own markup math? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Opulent Oasis isn't a monologue, it's a group chat with better lighting. And hey, if you live for a good exposé, hit like, subscribe, and slap that bell like a waitlist spot just opened. We've got more luxury leaks, overpriced drama, and high-end delusions on deck. Trust, when the crown cracks, you'll want front row seats. See you in the next one.